My name is Lois Goodman, and I graduated high school in 1964.
My name is Mary. I'm 73 years old, and I graduated from high school in 1962. 1962 seems like a long time ago. Women had some very specific roles. My father thought first choice, get married, second choice, seek a career.
They were trying to steer us into work that was standard for women.
Life was full of expectations. The expectations were to be, quote, a good girl, to do your homework, certainly to be respectful, not too pushy, to kind of follow what the norms were.
We were pressed to be good in some things. You were supposed to have good handwriting, you were supposed to read, you were supposed to know history. But in terms of science and math, in terms of anything that would prepare you to do something like engineering, forget about it, unless you fought for the chance to do it.
I was lucky enough to be placed in an experimental high-level biology class, which I truly loved, but unless you have those breaks because of having a role model or somebody who believed that girls could do these things, it was an uphill battle.
Both of my parents were elementary school graduates, but they wanted so much more for us. It was instilled in us that things are going to change. You've got to be prepared, and to be prepared, you got to go to college.
When I first went into college in engineering, I was the only female in the class, and the professor said to me, "I'm sorry, dear, you must be in the wrong class. This is an engineering class," very slowly and condescendingly, which made me all the more motivated to stay in engineering.
When I was in medical school, the entire class was 110 people. Of those, only 10 of us were women.
You were always looked at as somebody who would probably fail or probably drop out or not be able to make it in the field.
It always is frustrating for any underrepresented person, woman, person of color, LGBTQ, whomever, religious minority, to work 3 times as hard sometimes to be able to be even recognized as existing, let alone being recognized for the groundbreaking work you might be doing.
We have such diversity in our society in thinking, in gender, and all kinds of things that we need to somehow bring it all together and move forward.
I was one of very few women in the Army Reserve, but I was definitely the first to be given the Soldier of the Year award for the division. I was also the first woman to be on the Engineering Management Committee in Washington for Aerospace Industries Association. And as the chairman of that organization, I made them change the title to chairperson.
In August of 1977, August 1st, I began at Newton Wellesley as an OBGYN full-time active staff member. All of the other doctors were men.
I was at State University of New York at Cortland, and I went from being an instructor all the way up to being a full professor. I also was graduate dean, but as I moved along in my career, I did a lot of things to help women students realize that they could go as far as they could go.
I felt great responsibility to mentor young women. I certainly didn't have much mentoring experience, but I think that's why I wanted to mentor.
One of the things I did and am most proud of in my teaching was I tried to direct my attention to those students in the classroom who were never heard, who never had voices before. Because I knew from having been a woman and what I went through to get where I was, that voice was important to be recognized and brought out so that maybe I might reach somebody and say, you can do whatever you want to do.
I just hope that of all these students I've taught from pre-K to university level, that somebody picked up something that was useful to them in their lives. It was inspirational. That's all you can do. Give your all.
Hi, my name is Christy Fragnoli,
and
it is my privilege and honor to have been invited to say a few words in honor of Dr. Mary Ware.
You've taught me to be a better person, and for that I am so grateful. You grew me to be a sound professional from the first days as a young faculty member to my first days as a college president nearly 25 years later.
He made a difference not only in my heart, but in a lot of other people's hearts as well. It needs to be known that you are a remarkable scholar.
My mom has inspired me as a woman, as a mother, as a professional, to be smart, to be independent, and to keep learning.
You have empowered me to paint a life that I, imagined. And I'm watching you still paint yours, and that's a great gift.
You pushed me to articulate my own beliefs and to stand up for myself. So thank you for showing me how to make meaning out of life while being yourself.
Betty, you're a special person. I owe it to you for giving me a way and a path to look toward.
Dr. Ware was a wonderful mentor, and she inspired so many people. Really, when you look at the impact she has had, it's not only students within her class, but it's also all the professionals that she was able to touch along the way. Education is really lucky to have her in the field. Congratulations, and thank you, Dr. Ware.
Whew. That was a surprise.
I appreciate that very much.
A moment. Oh, thank you.
I guess when I said to myself when I was in college, when I get to the end of my life, I want to be able to say that I've done something, that I've made a difference. And I guess I'm not hopefully at the end of my life yet, but I'm getting closer. And I can say that.
It's overwhelming to think about over time. I'm very proud of her. And I'm glad she's proud of me.
Oh, after watching these videos, I'm overwhelmed. I think I've succeeded in doing what I wanted to do, that was help people have their voice, find a way to be who they are, who they could be, who they wanted to be. I think I've succeeded, and that was one of my goals, giving voice to those who didn't have it.